Okay, so I told you I'd tell you about why I'm going to Mexico versus the United States. So, like I said, my insurance, it covers bariatric surgery, but not for us because we're state. My husband is is a state employee, and even if it's medically necessary, it doesn't matter. So, I just kept trying to diet for the last 10 years since I learned about bariatric surgery. But it wasn't even on my radar, to be honest. Just kind of dealing with my weight and living my life as best I can. And I was at work, and one of my clients, we were having a conversation, just kind of joking around about the mommy makeover in Mexico where you stay at the resort, and I kind of brought up, that um, I I probably, like I would consider surgery, but not that one, but gastric sleeve surgery in Mexico because I knew that it was more affordable there. And she was like, oh my gosh, like I know so many people have done it. And she was starting to name off people that we both mutually know that have had it done. And she's like, you should talk to them, you should do it. And, and it was just, I was having a conversation with my mom that week, and my mom, who has like historically been like anti getting surgery, but she was diagnosed with a thyroid disorder this year, so she's kind of changed her mind and on like weight issues, and so she actually encouraged me to go get it done, and I was like, well, I probably don't have the money for it, but my husband, the conversation came up, and he was like, we have the money for that. You should just get it done. Like if that's what you want, then do it. And so I was shocked that both my mother and my husband were like, hey, like, I mean, if that's something that you're serious about doing, like, I know you've talked about it before, but go ahead and do it. You can do it. And I mean, not that I need permission, but like you do want to listen to the people around you who love you, um, and so that made a big difference for me. But also, the real kicker was that I was at a barbecue, and I was speaking with an extended family member, and we hadn't seen each other for a while. She had lost a lot of weight, but I mean, like, she never really was that heavy in the first place. So I obviously wouldn't ask about those sort of things. I don't acknowledge people's weight in person. Like, that's rude. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So, even if I'd lost weight, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, you lost a ton of weight. Like, I feel like it's almost like, oh, I was looking at you a year ago and you were so much heavier. And I was thinking, wow, look at how much all that weight she's gained. But, we were kind of like swapping vacation stories, and I've never been to Mexico, and she's never been to the Bahamas, and I love the Bahamas, so we were kind of teasing each other back and forth. And I said, you should go to the Bahamas. She's like, you should go to Mexico. And I said, well, I might go to Mexico. I'm thinking about it, but for surgery, so I won't be choosing where I get to go. And she grabbed my arm, and she was like, are you gonna get your stomach cut? And I said, I'm thinking about it, kind of surprised that she knew what I was talking about. And she said, I went like 2 years ago. And I'm like, really? I'm like, why? Here's the crazy thing. She works for my insurance company. I was like, why would you go to Mexico if you work for this insurance company? I know they cover it, like if you're not a state employee. And she said they wouldn't cover it for me because it wasn't medically necessary, and I didn't have the medical need for it. And so I said, oh, okay, like, and so did you like, your experience? And she was like, absolutely, best thing I've ever done for myself. I will never regret it. You will never regret it. You should get it done. It'll change your life. And she was really encouraging, supportive, and she ran me through the whole process, of how you get down there, which I'll talk about in another video. But how you get down there, how you get to Tijuana, what the first day, second day, third day, fourth day is all like. And it really changed the trajectory for me. We talked about it for quite a while. And yeah, I booked it the next day because it's one of those moments that, like the world, it just felt like the universe was kind of pulling on my hair. And I'm one of those people that I'll do the research for a long time, and then I'll just jump, and when I decide to do something, I'm just going to do it, but I'll think about it for a while. But when I've decided. So I booked it, and and I booked it at the hospital that she recommended, that she went to, and with the doctors that she recommended. And she had done all the research, and then I kept in contact with her, and then I started contacting all the people that I knew had it done, and I was shocked. I was shocked to find out how many people had actually had surgery done in Mexico, not necessarily here. Because, you know, people lose weight and they look great, and you just tell them, oh my gosh, like, you look so happy, you look so alive, like, I don't know what's different, you know, like it's your hair or something, but you definitely don't say it's your weight, and you definitely don't have that conversation. Some people don't want to have that conversation about their weight. So I reached out to my cousin that I had heard had it done. She got it done in Mexico. I reached out to some fellow friends, you know, friends of friends that I were acquaintances of mine, and same thing. They were so happy to help me and tell me about their experience, and don't regret it at all, and went to Mexico, and just super helpful the whole time about absolutely everything. And so it made it an easier decision to go ahead with it, because even though I paid the deposit to have this surgery, I mean, I still could back out. I still haven't paid the full amount. The full amount will come from my health savings account. That was something that I learned from my extended family member, that she said that, you know, I could get the money deposited into my bank account and then write them a check. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because we do have a health savings account that we put into every month with paychecks. And so that money will go to my surgery. And we always struggle to find a way to spend that money, so it's actually perfect, because we don't go to the doctor a lot. We're not sick very often, so we just don't need the doctor that often. And so the thousands and thousands that we put into our health savings account, you know, it's hard to spend it sometimes. So this is going to be a great thing for me to spend that on. So I'm excited about that. And it rolls over the 1st of July. I know most people roll over in January, but it's the 1st of July for us. And so that money will be refreshed several days before my surgery. So kind of a little bit close, but it's going to happen. So I'm sure that's not the same for everybody. It's, you know, just a situation for us. And I just hope that, like, there's no complications with it. So I have concerns about that, but working on it. So that's basically how I ended up going to Mexico. I'm anxious about it. And, you know, like I was told, you know, it's not a fancy place. It's not like our hospitals, which is why our hospitals is going to cost $25,000 or whatever it is to get surgery here versus there, is just all of the high-tech stuff, you know. But, you know, every new gadget, and then the whole medical industry in the United States is just it's a whole world into its own. And, but they're said that the care and the cleanliness and the expertise of the doctors is, you know, very high in Mexico, and everybody spoke, you know, so highly of them and of their experience. And they said, yes, like, it's not fancy, you don't have these fancy hospital rooms or anything, and so it can kind of feel a little nerve-wracking because it's different than what you're used to, but that it's, you know, like, I will not regret the experience, and the care at the hospital is high level. So I'm confident that I've made the right decision, but it would be impossible to say that I'm not scared, because I am scared. But I'm going to do it, because thinking about the next 40 years of my life and worrying that I, you know, will just get heavier and iller and in more pain than I am now, and wanting to live my life for my daughter, I can't imagine, you know, doing that. I really need to get the weight off. I need to live my life. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in another video. So thanks for listening. Appreciate your time and listening to my journey. This is very emotional for me, so it's hard to get the words out, and I have to do it in private, and I don't even think I could write it down, but I want to journal this. So we'll just talk about every aspect.